On this edition of Around BCC, it's time to look back at the success of this academic year and look forward to the next. BCC Athletics expands to include tennis, and BCC has a new presence on the local airwaves. Welcome to Around BCC. I'm Keith Tebow. Seems difficult to believe, but we are nearing the end of another academic year here at Bristol Community College. So what we thought we'd do is take a look back at the 2011-2012 year and also look ahead to the 2012-2013 academic year that actually starts this summer, but for most people will start this fall. We have three guests today. To my far left, we have Dr. Sarah Garrett. She is the Vice President of Academic Affairs. We also have two students with us. We have Dawn Langton and also Kelly Ribeiro, who have very successful stories of their careers here at BCC. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Garrett, let's start with you. In a nutshell, how would you characterize the academic year that is about to end? Another successful one, I would hope.
This has been a year filled with wonderful activity, and it's been an amazing year, and I'm so excited for the students and the community because we've been very responsive to the needs of the community in terms of the academic programming and the types of events and the programs that we've been able to put into place at BCC.
And it's funny, the first program of the year, I always interview Dr. Sprague, and we always lay out sort of a preview of what's to happen in the year. And when we look back on the things that we've covered on this program, it has been a very busy year with the events in New Bedford and Attleboro, continued growth there, correct?
Yes.
And also the new programs to help on the dropout rate with the Middle College and Gateway to College here in Fall River, Middle College in New Bedford, and of course the growth of e-health. How has that impacted on what your job is in terms of laying out the academic structure here at the college?
What's been wonderful is that the e-health program, for example, has opened up opportunities in New Bedford that we didn't have before. Prior to the e-health program in New Bedford, all of our health programs were only offered on the Fall River campus. So with the dawn of e-health in New Bedford, we've been able to offer occupational therapy, therapeutic massage, and a host of other health programs. And with the help of our partners, the Princeton Review, now known as Higher Ed Partners, right, and our dedicated faculty and staff, we've been able to offer those programs to the residents of New Bedford and in a hybrid format. And that also offers greater opportunity for access because students who have families, who have full-time jobs, are able to take many of their courses online and then take the clinicals and the labs face-to-face. So that creates more opportunities than ever for students in the healthcare fields and opens up opportunities for our healthcare providers. What is really wonderful is that we have created partnerships with our South Coast partners, and through listening and having opportunities for dialogue, have created additional certificate programs that will start in the fall semester. Health in the health field. So we will have, for example, Surge Tech will come on board. That's a new program that we've never had at BCC. We will have 5 other certificate health programs for students that will be in the health field that will take them from the entry field straight on into higher health programming as well. these are opportunities that never existed in New Bedford prior to the eHealth programs.
And as I understand it, nursing as well, correct?
Nursing.
That's going to be a big one.
Nursing is big. We've only had nursing in Fall River,
Right.
but nursing is big. Nursing comes on board in New Bedford as of the fall semester.
Very exciting time.
Extremely exciting.
And you mentioned e-health and health-related fields. Let's shift to our students, because one of our students
Yes.
is in one of those fields. Kelly, you live in New Bedford,
Yes.
correct? And you're actually going to be getting your certificate in a few weeks in therapeutic massage.
That's correct.
Out of New Bedford, correct?
Yes.
You were in New Bedford. Why did you pick BCC? And then we'll talk about your career and your other educational pursuits.
I was thrilled to learn of the eHealth program. Was so conveniently located to my neighborhood in New Bedford and offered the alternative college experience where I could do the majority of my classes online. That was really conducive to my full-time working schedule and my family obligations. And then the most important core part was done with the help of staff in a lab setting and in a clinic setting. And I mean, it was just a wonderful program.
Why did you select therapeutic massage? What about it interested you?
I've always had an interest in applied mind-body science. I've been a practitioner of yoga for many, many years and a teacher of yoga here in the greater New Bedford community for the last couple of years, 4 years. And I thought the therapeutic massage piece was the final component for me to be able to offer alternative health modalities to my community and to those less fortunate.
Something that's interesting about Kelly is the fact that she's getting her certificate here at Bristol Community College, but she already has an extensive educational resume, if you will. Talk about the other things you've done and what you hope how do you hope to use therapeutic massage in what you do?
My background originally is education reform, and yes, I've been simultaneously blessed to be studying at BCC and UMass, working on my master's degree in public policy, which will be winding down at the end of next month as well. So I'm thrilled, and I'm hoping to integrate certain policies around mind-body science as application for curriculum reform for non-traditional learners in areas where the dropout rate is just so egregious, particularly in my own community of New Bedford.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Dawn. Dawn, you are going to be graduating in a few weeks. In early childhood education. It's going to be the certificate as well, is that correct?
No,
associates, but it's going to be in a career program,
Yes,
not transfer.
yes.
So that's important. What interested you about BCC?
Well, location. Location was very important to me. I am a mom of two, so being close by was nice. What I liked about it was when I first started originally, I was able to take classes at night, and they were local. And so that definitely that was the main purpose of coming to BCC originally.
Now, you know, there's always this perception in Dr. Garrett. I've talked about this with President Sprague as well, about the determination of what is a successful graduate student and how many years it takes to do that. And President Sprague, maybe I shouldn't say this because these students haven't been part of commencement, but President Sprague asks every year how long it took students to get their degree, because persistence is very important.
Yes.
And the availability that BCC has is important.
Exactly.
I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dawn, that with your schedule and your family life, it didn't take you the traditional 2 years to get your degree.
No, it did not.
And how long
It
did
did
it
not.
take you, and how important was it for BCC to be flexible for you?
Exactly. When I started back in, I want to say it was in 2004. And I originally started just to get my certification in EEC. Years ago, that's all you needed to be in a preschool, because I actually was working at my children's school on a part-time basis. So I got into the field of the preschool there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that's why I went back to do that. And I did the 2 classes that I had to do, and I was happy with that. But then to come back to say, then finally I said, you know what, I think I'm going to go back and get my degree. And that's what I decided on doing. And then I was recently actually laid off 2 years ago, but it all worked out fabulously because I was able to take all of my general courses years back, and then I went right into the program of the early childhood
And hopefully, hint, hint, you'll be getting a job very soon as well.
Exactly.
That's always good. So good luck to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Garrett, we talked a little bit about this current academic year, and you mentioned the growth in e-health. What are some of the other growth areas as students look forward to starting up again in the fall?
And I was so glad that you mentioned that she's in the career program for early childhood education, because we have flexible options for students. We have the career option and we have the transfer option.
Right.
And one of the things that's happened is that we constantly look at how we can stay current with what the regulations are for the state in these programs. And with early childhood education, the faculty in that program have revised the early childhood ed transfer program to stay current with the regulations. It is very important for the associate degree transfer program to stay current with the regulations, to continue to meet the requirements of the Massachusetts Department of Early Education. And so it has revised its programs to stay current with those regulations and the state regulations for certification. And that's one of the things that it has just recently done. So those are the things that the faculty have done for the students that are continuing to stay in that program. The early childhood ed career and transfer students are working with the Fall River Children's Museum, as well as the art students. Those programs are very important, working with the community. The early childhood ed students just recently were working with the Fall River Children's Museum and the president's wife, Mrs. Joanne Sprague, who's a community activist, working to make sure that the children of Fall River have this children's museum. And so the early childhood ed students have been working very vigorously to work with the faculty of that program to make that museum all that it should be for the children in the community. The art students are working on a mural with the faculty, Professor Marissa Millard, developing a mural in that museum. Eric Durant and his students also working to create graphics and wonderful things for the students over the summer. So that's the kind of community service that the students of BCC are involved with. We have our wonderful casino program that's here, again responding to the needs of the community.
Now, we talked to those people back in the fall, I believe, about the program, because it was the talk about having casinos in Massachusetts, so it's a perfect tie-in.
That's right.
BCC is already in the forefront of training those people.
In the forefront, has a full program, putting that program online as well. So BCC was way ahead of the curve in having that kind of a program already available. But our business programs, we have a program where students can complete the business program in 1 year here at BCC. And that program begins starting off this June, starting
summer,
this summer. 1 year, 1 year program, fast track business program. Those are the types of things that are coming up.
One thing I want to touch upon, because it's going to impact incoming students beginning this year, is what the college is being involved with in terms of what's called the First Year Experience College Success Seminar. Talk a little bit about what that is for students, new students, and how it's going to ultimately help them succeed here at BCC.
It is a wonderful, the College Success Seminar is a wonderful course, but it is required for all students. It actually provides students with the know-how of how to be successful in college. It it is in a one stop of a course, provides students with all the fundamentals of what it takes to be a successful college student. And that is that first course that every student should take in their first semester of enrollment at the community college. And it is now, it's always been here at the college, but it's now a requirement for all entering students. And it is such a great course because it helps to retain students. And it is foremost on every advisor's to-do conversation list with students, because we found that, and one of the reasons why it's become a requirement, we found that if the students that take that course earlier on are the students that are successful.
Right. Yeah, very important. And one thing we must note as we get prepared for the 2012-2013 academic year is, unfortunately, the fees here at Bristol Community College are going up just a little bit to help continue to provide this high quality of education. The fees will be going up for most students $5 per credit, beginning with the new academic year, which actually is the summer. People don't really know that. People start in the fall, but it's actually in the summer. But what's going to happen, and Dr. Garrett, if you want to respond to this, the e-health students, which have in the past had higher fees, they're actually going to be coming down to meet the fees of the general students. So that's actually a good thing.
It is a good thing, and it equalizes things. And the great thing is that all of the academic support services that students get throughout the college, those services do not change.
Exactly.
The students get so much in way of support services everywhere, tutoring, online, and when we say online, we have live faculty members that are available 24/7 for any student in almost every discipline. So there is no reason for any student, regardless of their schedule, not to reach out for that type of support.
Well, Kelly, Dawn, Dr. Garrett, we appreciate your time and have a great summer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back. Our alumni profile this month looks at a woman who began building a professional career without a college degree and then used BCC to earn a much-deserved promotion.
Hi, I'm Sandra Anderson. I'm a graduate of Bristol Community College, class of 1999. I grew up in Rochester, Massachusetts. As a child, I was interested in getting into business. And, through the years, I thought about being a nurse, thought about being a hairdresser, came across a lot of different opportunities. I grew up in a house where the world was my oyster shell. My parents never limited whatever it is I wanted to do, I was able to do, and they were going to help me do that. But ultimately, I chose business. I went to high school at Old Rochester Regional in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts. I focused most of my studies on business. In fact, right out of high school, I didn't plan on going to college, and I did not go to college. I went to Bristol Community College as a night student in the continuing education program. My interests during high school were to just basically get through high school, to be a good student and a respectful person in the community. I participated in the ski club, in volleyball, in various sports throughout my term in high school. Right after high school, I was trying to find my way. I didn't go right into college. I wanted to work. I wanted to make money, and that was my goal. So right after high school, I worked as a temporary at St. Luke's Hospital for a period of time. Then went along to work in a small microelectronics packaging firm where I was a secretary in engineering. And that's where my career here began, at Ocean Spray. I started here in 1988 as a secretary in the logistics department. A friend told me about the program at BCC and explained to me how easy it was going to be. Well, maybe not so easy. It was not easy to it was easy to get in. The curriculum was not easy, but trying to manage a house and working full-time and going to school, that's where it was a little complex. But BCC made it so that I could go Saturdays, and the evening program, I could take as many courses as I could fit in and do well at. I started off very interested in business administration, and I was going to focus on marketing. Then it was I decided that general studies was probably the best course of action for me, because I was still unsure at that point what I wanted my focus to be. The faculty and the administration at BCC was very, very helpful to me in helping me determine what was the right path, because I was fairly indecisive at that point what I wanted to focus on. So they, through various counselors there, guided me that the best course of action for me would be to go through the general studies program. After graduating in 1999 from BCC, I was afforded a position here as the Assistant International Export Manager, and I was in charge of the Caribbean. And so I got my degree, and then they sent me off to the Caribbean. It was a really good deal for me. Turns out it was a great deal for Ocean Spray as well, because I thrived in the environment, and my education prepared me for meetings with presidents of companies, dignitaries in foreign countries, as well as some cultural experiences, because let's face it, at BCC it's a very diverse college. And so having some of that background to carry with me in my briefcase, it really certainly helped. I actually became the International Export Manager, so I not only had the entire Caribbean, but I got Latin America as well as some areas in Asia. Though I didn't travel to Asia, I still ran the business here from Lakeville. I went on from that position I became General Manager of International. And in the general manager position, that then gave me employees. So my territory didn't expand, but my responsibility here as an employee at Ocean Spray did expand. So I was in charge of people in foreign countries, just a handful, but there was a couple here based in Lakeville. And then when I was on the road, they were running operations here, and I was dealing with brokers and distributors overseas. I spent about 13 to 14 years of my career here in the international division, and I had a son in 2001, and when I had him, I realized being on a plane twice a month in sometimes precarious positions overseas, and taking some chances, that probably wasn't in the best interests of being a mom. So I came to Ocean Spray, the senior management team here, and said, I think I need to scale back just a little bit for a while. What can you do for me? And being the wonderful organization that they are, they did eventually find a home for me where I could spend more time here based in Lakeville, traveling a little less, but with the same level of responsibility. As far as where to go from here, at this point in my life, I want to continue to have a job. I want to continue to do really well at my job. Ocean Spray has given me countless opportunities, and I'm very thankful to that, very loyal to them and to the brand. So in terms of going anywhere, unless they ask me to go somewhere, I plan on staying here until I retire.
Being that we're in May, the next big event on the BCC calendar is the 2012 commencement exercises. This year's celebration is set for Saturday, June 2nd at 11 a.m. at the Fall River campus. The commencement can be seen live on Fall River Community Television, Channel 95, on the Fall River Comcast cable system. It will also be streamed live on the FRC-TV website, frctv.org. That leads us to summer. For nearly 30 years, the BCC Kids College program has been an attractive alternative for parents looking for activities for their children during the summer months. And the 2012 session looks like it will be another year of some exciting opportunities. Upwards of 500 children annually take part in BCC's Kids College program at the Fall River and Attleboro campuses. The 6-week program allows students in grades K through 12 to get involved in both academic and fun activities. Kids College Coordinator Lori Quigley says there are plenty of opportunities for all students, and many parents have made the program part of their regular summer routine.
It's a very safe environment for the summer for the children. Many children that we have been here since, first, second grade, and now they're hitting middle school and high school. They come in the morning, they get to spend the entire day here, they get to have lunch with their friends. Each session's not too long, it's only a 2-hour session, and they come back summer after summer.
BCC Kids college classes fill up fast, so please register as soon as possible. You can find out more by visiting the college's website or calling the college at 508-678-2811, extension 2154. Classes begin July 9th and end August 16th. The BCC Athletics Department has been in existence since 2008, starting with men's and women's soccer and basketball. The department has grown this year with its first spring sport, tennis. The new co-ed tennis program at BCC is led by Coach Wayne Turner. Turner comes to the college after leading the women's team at Providence College from 2004 through 2008. He says even though he's coming from a more established program, coaching players is the same at any level.
Certainly the level of competition changes. Ability levels of the kids are more of a scholarship, nature at that level. But like anything else, we've got to come out first day. We've got to, organize a team, give them a sense of a team, assess them, try to, get them practicing and competing. Before you know it, it's time to play. And so once we're on the court, it's just tennis as usual.
The inaugural season for the tennis team is over. There were many individual achievements for the squad, but the team finished the year winless. We'd like to think we're the region's local television resource when it comes to what's going on here at BCC. But the college is expanding its media wings, adding a weekly radio program to its arsenal. Bristol Community College has contracted with local radio station WSAR AM 1480 to produce a weekly 1-hour program promoting the virtues of the college. On Course with BCC is hosted by media specialist Patrick Stone, who says the weekly program is a good way to boost BCC's image in the local media.
Local media has been great to BCC as a whole. You always see us in the newspapers, and you see us on local TV, and you do hear us on the radio a lot. We've done a lot of work with 1480 WSAR, the radio stations in New Bedford, and really all around the South Coast. So when we decided that we wanted to do a talk show on radio to highlight the different programs at the college, we naturally decided we wanted to use 1480 WSAR, which is right across the bridge in Somerset, and they're really the community's radio station in Fall River and Bristol County, which is where BCC serves.
Stone says programs in May will focus on BCC student success just in time for graduation. On Course with BCC can be heard every Monday at 1 p.m. on WSAR AM 1480. April was a big month at BCC with a ceremony celebrating Earth Day and programs looking into making all of our lives more environmentally sustainable. The BCC Seeds of Sustainability program sponsored a number of workshops teaching all of us how to become more environmentally friendly. The series was organized by student Mark Zajac, who says there are little things we can do to be more sensitive to our environment.
We created this workshop series to create, to educate people on how to do things, from starting their own seeds, from making their own laundry detergent, from actually the one that we have today is we're going to have how to build our own grow light system. So you can grow your own seeds indoors. So a lot of it is sort of fostering and building up an educative support of the community. Hopefully, to help them become a little bit more empowered, or to help them become independent. So if they can save money by not buying expensive laundry detergent and making their own selves, that's a small win. It's a small success.
This is the final edition of Around BCC for this academic year. We leave you today with a look back at the 2012 Student Art and Design Juried Exhibition held at the Grimshaw Goodowitz Art Gallery last month in Fall River. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great summer. We'll see you again in September.